Good morning, students. In this class, we're going to discuss The Voice of the Unwanted Girl by Sujata Bhatt. It's a poem that has been prescribed for the students of General English, that is, UBA, BSc, BCom students. I'm going to give you the analysis, the summary of this particular poem by Sujata Bhatt. The title is The Voice of the Unwanted Girl. Before we begin with the explanation of the poem, I would like to give you the introduction to it. Sujata Bhatt is one of the finest living poets, born in Ahmedabad, a graduate of the Writers' Workshop, University of Iowa. She has voiced her concern about the gender bias. In our society, girls are treated as inferior to boys. The birth of a girl is considered a misfortune. The technique that helps to determine the sex of the unborn child is used against the girl child. If the expected baby is a girl, it is destroyed. That is why the difference between the number of the boys and girls is widening day by day. So, this particular poem, The Voice of the Unwanted Girl, focuses on the pathetic condition of women in India. The gender discrimination and inequality showed to them defeats the whole purpose of women empowerment. In this poem, the unborn girl child is the speaker who has been denied the right to live by a brutal and heinous act of fetus killing. The act of fetus killing means killing of the child before its birth. This irrational act has adversely affected the male female ratio in India. The number of girl child has fallen down alarmingly. The preference of the male child and non-acceptance of female child result into such evils. It can raise serious social issues as well as result into imbalance of nature. The speaker, as I said in the poem, is an unwanted girl who was destroyed before she was born or who was killed before she was born. She is speaking to her mother. The girl tells her mother how she destroyed her. The doctors told her that the baby would be a girl. She put on her green sari and went to hospital to have the child destroyed because the girl was unwanted. The mother already had one daughter. The doctors gave an injection to kill the girl. The mother did not even care to look at the girl. After the girl was destroyed, everyone was happy. The murdered girl child asked her to look for her in vain because she was lost forever. She will not grow up into a beautiful girl to be admired by someone. She tells her mother that she has acted against the will of God. God wanted her to live and grow up naturally. So this is the basic, introduction to what this particular poem is going to talk about. Now we're going to, have a look at the line by line meaning of this particular poem. Uh, your poem begins with, Mother, I'm the one you sent away when the doctor told you I would be a girl. In the end, they had to give me an injection to kill me. So, as I said, the poem Voice of the Unwanted Girl begins with a voice of protest against the cruel act of female feticide. As the title suggests, the speaker of the poem is an unborn girl who is brutally and thoughtlessly killed after it was determined that it was a girl. It is extremely unfortunate to find the discrimination against a girl child in this modern age. The poem reveals the insensitive act of people. In the poem, the fetus shares her views on both stages, that is, before killing and afterwards. So, as you can see, she says, Mother, I'm the one you send away. Send away where? That I've been killed. When the doctor told you I would be a girl, in the end, they had to give me an injection to kill me. So, the unborn girl child pathetically complains to her mother when she's denied birth in this world. The decision of killing the unborn child by her parents, especially by her mother, fills her with sadness. The tone of agony and distress is felt in the poem. There is sadness and pain expressed over the non acceptance of the girl child. The pain and pathos could not undermine the protest. She said, "Mother, I'm the one you sent away when doctor told you I would be a girl. In the end, they have to give me an injection to kill me. Before I died, I heard the traffic rushing outside, the monsoon slush, the wind sulking through your beloved Mumbai. I could have clutched to the neon blue." So these are the lines of this. "So before I died, I heard the traffic rushing outside, the monsoon slush, the wind sulking through your beloved Mumbai. I could have clutched the neon blue. No one wanted, no one wanted to touch me except later in the autopsy room when they knew my mouth would not search for anything and my head could be measured and bent cup apart." So the act of killing the unborn child had left her desires unfulfilled. Before her birth, when she was in her mother's womb, she was able to experience the activity of the world outside. And what are these activities that she's talking about? She said she could hear the traffic rushing, the monsoon slush. So, and what is a slush? So, slush is a snow that has started to melt and becomes dirty. But the callous decision of the patriarchal hegemony snatched the opportunity from her to see and enjoy the world outside. She was not allowed to enjoy the beautiful environment. She was not allowed to live, grow, and flourish. It was very unfortunate. The voice of the unwanted girl is addressed to the mother. The voice of the unwanted girl questions the mother conscience because she did not object female infanticide. When the doctor told the pregnant mother that a girl child would be born to her, she instructed the doctor to destroy the female child in the womb. The infant was killed with the help of injection. This is pathetic voice of unborn girl which haunts the imagination. This is a living story in the form of poem. This is the incident of Mumbai where there was heavy traffic and monsoon set in. The wind is sulking through Mumbai. The poetess realized that these things are presented it in her poem, and then she says, "I looked like a sliced pomegranate, the fruit you never touched. Mother, I'm the one you sent away when they told you I would be a girl, your second girl. Afterwards, as soon as you could, you put on your grass green sari. The orange stem of the parijata blossom glistened in your hair. Everyone smiled." So she's now she's comparing herself to a pomegranate, and a simile has been used by the poet in these lines. "I looked like a sliced pomegranate, the fruit you never touched." So in an autopsy room, the medical examination of a dead person is carried out to discover the cause of death. So, in the autopsy room, the unborn child in the womb was examined. The doctor knew that the mouth of the unborn child would not search for anything, and her head would be measured and cut apart. No one wanted to touch the unborn girl. The girl says further that she looks like a sliced pomegranate. This fruit was never touched by you, that is the mother. She addresses her mother and says that she's the one she killed her. She's the one who has killed her. So when the doctor told her that she was going to bear a girl child, and this is going to be the second girl child, afterwards, as soon as she put on her grass green sari, the orange stems parijata blossom and they are glistening to her hair. This tragedy was happened when the doctor told the mother that her second child would be a girl. So everybody smiled as everybody was happy that the girl is no more, that the girl has been killed in the womb, and they're not going to have the second girl child. But now I ask you to look for me, mother, to look for me, because I won't come to you in your dreams. Look for me, mother, look, because I won't become a flower. I won't turn into a butterfly, and I'm not a part of anyone's song. So these lines express the sadness and pain of the unborn child, which no one is aware of. No one could realize her struggle to exist and live like others. Everything becomes normal for everyone, but for the unborn child, became different. She asked her mother to look for her, though she will found nowhere. In this patriarchal setup, the desires of this unborn child is curbed. She has been forced to leave the world as she was a girl child. She is no more a part of her mother's dream. So as she says that I won't come in your dreams, look for me, mother, look because I won't become a flower, I won't turn into a butterfly. So she's been forced to leave the world as she was a girl child. She's no more a part of her mother's dream. Her desires were all crushed before she could bloom as a flower or fly like a butterfly. She's no more a part of anyone's song. The images of flower and butterfly indicate life, which she could have enjoyed if she was allowed to exist. Everyone, she said, was smiling, but now she asked her mother to look for her. She must look for her because she would not come up in her dreams. She again tells her mother to look for the girl because she would not become a flower and she won't turn into a butterfly. She's not part of anyone's song. The unwanted girl goes on lamenting the cruel practice of female feticide. The unborn girl was killed not in accordance with divine will, but because of the social constraints. So the girl is saying that I was killed because it was society which does not want to have another girl child. It was not God's will. It was not what God has decided for her, but it was what society has decided for her. And then they say, look, mother, look for the place where you have sent me. Look for the unspeakable, for the place where look for me, mother, because this is what you have done. Look for me, mother, because this is not God's will. Look for me, mother, because I smell of formaldehyde. I smell of formaldehyde, and still I wish you would look for me, mother. So, in these above lines, the child complains to her mother that it was not God's will. Like I was saying, that it was not the will of the God, but it was because of this constraint that were there in the society. It's because of the patriarchal mindset that was there that she was being forced to kill. So, not God's will, rather, it was the will of her parents who had that arbitrarily denied her existence. Gender discrimination is not done by God. In fact, female becomes the victim of gender discrimination created by the patriarchal setup. She persists that her mother must search for her. She must look for her where she lies dead. It was the destination decided by her mother. The consent of the mother is the reason for resentment of the unborn child. These lines express a strong quest of identity and the craving of existence. Mother, who has also become a part of this age old patriarchal setup, must realize this evil. So the unborn female child once again tells her mother to look for her and look for the place she has sent her. The unspeakable child must be looked for. She looked for the place that can never be described. She addresses her mother and look for what she has done. So she's asking her multiple questions that look, mother, where you have sent me. Look, mother, try to find me now where you have sent me. So place which can never be described. And where she had gone, this thing had been done without the disposal and will of God. The unborn girl was like a gas with no color and a strong smell, used mixed with water to preserve things in the laboratory. The girl wishes to have a look of her and her sin. She and again tells her to realize the great mistake as well as a great crime. So it says that it is a crime, it is a sin that you have done, mother. So this is what she's trying to talk about. So Sujata Bhatt exhibits her strong female sensibility in this poem. Each and every line emphatically expresses the purpose of the poem. The images and symbol have been put aptly used to arouse the feeling of pain, agony, despair, distrust, and apathy. The images of sliced pomegranate, the smell of formaldehyde, arouse a feeling of pity. The monsoon slush, rushing traffic, and neon blue describe some moments of the living world. The wind that sulked through the city of Mumbai is an image of disappointment that the beloved city of Mumbai proves of. The harsh reality of Mumbai is evident. The impact of the language of the poem is felt as desired. The evil of female feticide is inhuman and unnatural. The poet has successfully created awareness towards such evil practices. So this was the line-to-line explanation of the complete poem. Go through it. Uh, go through it, as I've already told you that you have to buy a particular book, which is Essential Language Skills. It is available in the bookstore at Rajasthan University by the name Book World, and it's a quite a cheap book. So girls, you need to buy that book. Go through the poem that I've explained it to you today. I hope you have understood it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.